On the table today at Squirrel Stampede, Goo-Tron Supreme of the Heroes of Goo Jit Zu Meteor Madness line, a 3-in-1 Goo Combiner. We have already checked out many of the single-carded Heroes Meteor Madness figs, and now we will smash them together into the big three of Goo-Tron Supreme. Also, grab an arm, grab a leg. It is Hydro Sting the Battle Scorpion. Also on the table to pair up against your Meteor Madness Goo-Tron Supreme or ride together, whatever you prefer. So let's check out these Goo 2 out, and I will share everything that they can do.
Squirrel Stampede.
Please swipe.
Squash share.
And squirrel.
This is Goo-Tron Supreme, Heroes of Goo Jit Zu Meteor Madness. Not since King Hydra or Giant Puffy Blazagon have we seen a Goo Jit Zu so large. Packed heavy with 35 plus phrases and lights. And a 3-in-1 face swap, what's that about? Also with multiple triple attack weapons. A meteor blaster, spinning ninja stars, and a blazing sword. Yeah, this dude is just packed with the stuff. And goo, of course, goo filling. Over on the back of the box, I gots to wonder how many batteries powers this guy. With Blazagon's fiery strength, Pantaro's stealth, and Thrash's raw power are legendary. When the power of 3 becomes 1, the mighty Goo-Tron Supreme is unleashed. Me thinking this episode has not been released yet, I've only seen part 1, and this has not happened yet. Max stretch, 32 inches. Can I stretch that far myself? Okay, we have to see this one out. Because I don't think I could smash my Goo Jit Zu figures together manually. They just don't do that way. Unless I like really hyper twist them. There we go, I got it. Oh. This guy's heavy. And I can't help but think from the start of this, it's like a mix of a cherry and a blueberry slimy slushy, that is. A strawberry cherry, a blueberry icy slushy with a little bit of ice pina colada in the middle. Am I right on that? He just looks simply delicious. So there's the big guy out. Sauerkraut, does he stand? Oh, no. Might have an ACL tear. If I haven't talked up enough Rhino Stone with the standable legs, I will again. It is so refreshing to be able to stand up this guy. Of course it is also refreshing to look at this guy. I mean, look at these legs. It looks like he's full of yummery, shummery blue icy ice. Okay, the first technical thing I'm realizing is he's very top heavy. Whoa, hello. All this armor and weight he has going on upstairs makes it for a very difficult balance Goo Jit Zu figure. Whoa! A little worried about these fire wings getting smashed because he's so heavy. Whoa! There's so much contraptioning going on with this upper torso, and the lower torso, it's just hardly being able to hold up with these springy, dingy legs. Or should I say, gooey, gushy legs. Okay, this is actually really fun. This is like Goo Jit Zu Supreme's power leg class, how to get your legs in shape. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Swish left, swish right, swish left again, and a right. Swish there, you get it all around in there. That's exactly how I make my slushy mixes, by the way. So they've divided him into 3 different chambers. Kind of much very reminiscent of old King Hydra here, who is just a little bit taller, but it's all about those high hauler, stretchable dragon heads up there. Whereas Goo-Tron Supreme, it's all about that clever bulk head gauntlet thing. Pantaro really gets center sandwich. There's not much of Pantaro going on in there. It's that mixy, metallic, swishy stuff of Goo. I mean, if I hold his gauntlet down like this and really try to squeeze these two together, I might be able to get it to puff out. Not really. So Pantaro here, who is currently central masked up front, is kind of the least of the 3. So to activate our 3-in-1 face switcheroo, you saw it earlier, you just mash down on this central meteorite crystal. And Thrash is here. That's actually a kind of really cool crystalline, like silver, like really nice looking meteorite. I wonder what the story lore will be on that. But we're now in Thrash mode. So Thrash has got his leg going. He wants to fight. He's got the blaster on his side. Let's see if we can add that little projectile in. Even has a little meteorite look to it. Bring back Rhino Stone as a target and see if we can fire off this Meteor Blaster. Well, Rhino Stone is one tough dude, especially with those heavy legs. He ain't falling down. I do so like the detailing of this little meteorite blaster projectile, though. You always have to have a projectile with these, right? Right? Well, there you go. That's Thrash's side. As for Thrash's Goo Jit Zu power, funny, these goos are not lined up exactly with the figure releases of Meteor Madness. We had a swirly metallic with Thrash, but now we've got water crispy beans inside, the crunchiness. Which ironically was what was packed with Blazagon in Meteor Madness. Blazagon had the crunchy beans. Beanie, seedy, little plastic things. And because of all the shielding, once again, it's hard to really get in here and see it. It's floating around though, like it's a little bit suspended in ice. That's nice. There is not really too much you can do with this goo other than stretch it. You can really still give it that stretch, and that's what you're gonna do, versus kind of giving some clobbering punches. Well, some clobbering kicks. Oh, and as for the blaster, if you do feel like it's in the way, it is removable. It's kind of wrapped around his arm pretty well, but you can kind of rotate and slide this sucker out. There we go. And maybe now I can finally do something. Squeeze up that leg into the fist. There we go. Now we've got some final icy power punching from Thrash going. And so that is Thrash's side. Can we see an appearance of Blazagon, please? So each guy has their cycle of thing. We might be on Try Me. I'll have to check that out in a second. So back to Pantaro. Light up effects on the meteor chest. There's Thrash again. And Blazagon. So far hearing pretty similar phrases. I think we're on Try Me. I always forget the Try Me, but here we go. This is Try Me on this side. I believe the center is off. I'm getting nothing from him. And then finally, there we go. We're now powered up. Let's cycle through one more time, see if we hear different things. There's a little song. Did I hear a little dun 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 for shark? And Blazagon action. Okay, so what's Blazagon doing here? Blazagon has a couple features. He's probably in charge of the fire wings, and they're not as cool as I thought. Oh, he keeps bashing around this weapon. I gotta take it off for a second. They're not as cool as I thought they were gonna be. The package said spinning ninja stars, and well, there they are, and they just spin. I thought this was going to be, I don't know what I thought. I read it differently in my mind. They just look cool. They don't really activate cool. I guess you can kind of like fly and like goo cut someone, which is pretty neat. And they do, whoa, hello. They do rotate up and down over on these back flames on the back. They do certainly make him look cool. So it's mostly a red cherry liquid from your favorite Slurpee slushy icy dealer. And now we've got little pebbles of meteorite in there into his body. Yeah, they even look like meteorite. If you get in close, and it's really hard to see, but they have like a little bit of a roughed up meteor ball look. Which I feel like this whole series, their inner goo should have had more of this. This is the only one. Oh, I think it just powered down. This is the only one where I feel like the inner goo is like actually like themed meteorite. So that's pretty neat on the guy. Can he say something else? I mean, there's really only one activation button, isn't there? And so he's gonna fight by just keep switching around through his various faces. I haven't really got a... Okay, if you give him a hit, Now you got some sword sounding action.
Blazing sword attack.
And let's get out that sword. I almost forgot. So we got a flaming sword to place onto Blazagon's hand. I suppose you could switch him up and put that on Thrash's hand too. See if I can squish that through. There we go. Holding on tight. So now he's ready for battle.
Goo battle time.
That's right, it's Goo battle time.
Blazagon lava power.
Lava power. Ooh, that didn't sound so good appropriately.
Goo battle time.
A little bit of a repeat. And okay, so these are some of the Blazagon sounds
Blazing sword attack.
by giving him a hit. So, in theory, we switch it over to Pantaro. Yeah, we get Pantaro sound effects. Meow.
Shuriken ninja strike.
Yeah, oh, he should have came with a shuriken. He should have came with an accessory for Pantaro to wield somehow.
Pantaro shadow power.
And let's switch over to Thrash.
Thrash hydro splash power. Let's get 'em. Hydro goo blast.
Okay, well, I think I probably cycled through most sound effects. There's 35 phrases, so there could be a couple more in there to activate. But pretty neat little character nonetheless. I'm liking it that he's a hero figure versus the bad guy. I mean, King Hydra was all cool and all, but wasn't he evil? I think he might have been evil. He looks evil. I can't remember the lore. Although he had that epic stretchy neck. And now he's off screen with the head there. But the three here are looking good. Now we've officially got something to fight over King Hydra now. These two should have been released together years ago, right? But now we've actually got an official Goo-Tron Supreme here to fight. And what do we got for scale, by the way? Because he is pretty big and heavy. Its scale and size is running approximately about 8 to 9 inches in height. And, well, it's going to be pretty wide at about 8 to 9 inches in width. He's a big dude compared to your regular scale of Heroes of Goo Jit Zu. Good to have him battling on your side. And who are we battling next? Of course, we will be battling the rough and tough Hydro Sting Battle Scorpion. Scorpion. Also, of course, super stretchy. Oh, I love this illustration. It's so clean, it's so nice and mean. Wait, who is this guy and why is Thrash riding? I thought this guy was bad. I just don't understand the lore. 2 attack modes with this beast though, standing and crawling. It's gonna be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Get it? Interesting. Hydro Sting. Interesting Hydro Sting. Over on the back of the box. The back of the box says something. So this is indeed a character you can place and squish on in a Goo Jit Zu into the hollow zone of this one. Very interesting. And there's your second form for crushing and attacking. This Battle Scorpion Warrior is the ultimate ride on Behemoth. How do you always say that? With dual attack modes, Hydro Sting is always ready to blast and crunch his way to victory. I don't know. I just always assumed this guy was like the bad guy. Like you needed someone for Goo Jit Zu Supreme to fight. And now I just don't know. Well, let's get him out. This bug is squashed. This just might be the weirdest sting of thing that we've encountered before in Goo Jit Zu of Heroes. Flattenized on the table so far. Probably should flip up its sting head. It's just on a nice little ball joint, so when he's crawling, it's up, and when he's walking, it's down. Pretty easy. Does it rotate? I think not, maybe. And this is always a rare treat for Heroes of Goo Jit Zu, the extendable arm, or in this case, stinger. The accordion plastic, always fun. And then we can jam in a stinger projectile. And so it says we get a character and we cram it into this orifice on the back. There's a word we don't use very much at Squirrel Stampede, orifice. Get it in there. Alright, Thrash, maybe just squeeze his upper half, squeeze in itself into his legs and lower self. Okay, well, yeah. Uh-oh, I got a little bit of leak on that one. It was either Thrash or this guy. Someone's got a little bit of Hydroness goo leaking. better call the authorities. So Thrash has got his ride here. It's not a safe spot at all to ride. You got like a scorpion stinger right above your back. It's like, ow, oh, stop it. Why would you do this to me? Ow. Very dangerous. And then what happens when he stands up? Like, he's gonna be like, hey, let's get up and do this. And then he's just like falling on the back. Stop! So this is certainly the weirdest sting thing on the channel. There he is standing up now. Again with the head flip up, flip down. Can't rotate. Ooh, he's got a claw. He's got a claw. Kinda like this better than the blaster projectile on Goo-Tron Supreme. This is more fun. You can like grab onto a guy and like throw him. It's got spring release, so it will always stay tightened. You have to press it to push it open. So I like stuff like this. I like gauntlet claws. You just don't see it very much. In fact, they could do a whole series on Goo Jit Zu gauntlet claws where you would claw them and grab them and throw them. So that's a really nice thing. A sting of things. He's got a nice rubber torso suit with a meteor on the front there to show off its meteor madness. I like the theme. I really like the theme this time around. It's kind of like one of my favorites. I like the X-Ray series. Now I really like the Meteor Madness series. As for what is powering this guy's ultra stretchy goo, can you hear it? It's crunchy. I'm thinking it's more beanie seeds. It's little round beanie seed ball things, but it's much more packed than it was on the blue side of Thrash on Goo Jit Zu Supreme. It was like super watery over here. You can see him floating in there on the upper part of his leg. But here it's more crunchy. Think Vac-Man from Stretch Armstrong, who we will be hopefully seeing soon too. It's a big year for Stretch stuff. Slam heroes. There's a lot of greatness of the Stretch this year. So it's really highly compacted in there. Pretty satisfying, really. I like that. I like that goo filling. And so then you want to transform him back to ground control. You would, of course, have his head up and then flip down and then bam. Thrash would then come along and be like, okay, let's ride. And hopefully not leak as we smash him into this hole there. So weird. And then they would go on to battle. Surprise sting! Honestly, a little disappointed, underwhelmed with the Scorpio Sting here from the Meteor Madness line. Hydro Sting. I think it's the back ride thing that kind of just ruins it because he's always going to be a mounted horse type of character. He's not, by itself, he's got this huge hole in his back, right? I would have much rather had the hole filled in and it been traditional squeeze and stuff coming out better than the ride. Yeah, they could have wrapped a saddle with this stuff, this material, for Thrash to ride on. That could have been wrapped around. He could have rode that way. So with the big hole in there, it's just kind of like weird. So I would stick with Goo-Tron Supreme first, and then if you, I guess, had a lot extra and wanted to have a little extra battling material, then you go on to Hydro Sting. He's still a pretty big figure though, reaching approximately, he's about, 9 inches from either side. So he's about, same mass and scale, although he feels a little bit smaller than Goo-Tron Supreme over there. And so there you go with the wild world of Goo-Tron Supreme versus Hydro Sting. They're pretty fun. They're pretty just giant, squeezable, heavy top, heavy fun. Definitely recommend this guy for fun. If you're big into the series, this guy maybe you would have to be super extra big into this series to pick up, but we had to see them both today because they're both just clever fun. And of course the Meteor Madness series is huge. We gotta look for these goo slingers up next, so stay tuned for that at some point. I still have to lock down that mega goo launcher though. That's Goo-Tron Supreme, packed with goo. Lots of goo stretchy things this fall. Also coming up, we've got Slam Heroes from Smashers. I believe Stretch Armstrong is back making an appearance, and even there's some goo inside those Ninjombies we looked at. You should check out the Ninjombi review if you had not had a chance. If you liked today's video, please give us a squike, squirrelibe, a squammet, your favorite, most interesting thing of the Meteor Madness line. Thank you so much for watching. Here's a few videos that YouTube recommends. Check them out. Thanks again for watching. That's what I have to say about that.